It is time for another episode of the Cultural Hall and Articles of News episode. We're going to try and do a bucket ton of news today. It's me and Molly the Ash Ashton wearing, which I'm deciding is starting to be the thing, the plain
Yes.
shirt. The plain shirt is in.
The plain white tee. I was helping host a bridal shower last night, and the three of us hosting all showed up in plain white tees, and one in a skirt, one in pants, one in jeans. I mean, it's kind of the thing.
Yeah, yeah. My wife is doing the plain black shirt. She has gone that way, but I think just the plain shirt in general, not frills, not pockets, not buttons, not ties, just keeping it simple. That's where we're at right now.
That's right. Although I have to say, I have probably six different styles of white tees that I've been going in between lately. I'm like, I don't know why I need so many different ones. They all are just plain white, but
Hmm.
just slightly different.
Tell
This
me
one's
what they.
slightly cropped.
Okay, okay.
Anyway,
The thing is, and they'll tell you this, that they being the billionaires, if you just get a uniform and you buy
yeah.
seven of the same thing, and then you don't have to choose every day, you can actually use all of those brain calories on things that aren't deciding the thing that you'll wear every day. That's one of the things that like the
I mean, I believe it.
hmm,
Makes sense. I mean, honestly, I've been kind of going through all the things in my brain every day, and there's a lot. It would be nice if I could remove some of those. So
yeah.
I don't know. Kind of
I have
boring though.
I have for a long time wanted to be a jumper guy. My grandpa, before he passed, I think a lot of people's grandpas do this, where you have like the short sleeve and also the long sleeve, just sort of jumper. And you're like, this is what I wear.
Yes.
It's simple, it's easy, it's light. I know
Yeah.
what it is. It's in the closet. I've got three different colors. I have wanted to be the jumper guy for at least the last 5 years of my life.
Well, it's time for you to do it. You got to do it
I might.
one day.
Yeah, one day for sure, but I don't know if this day is that one day.
Maybe not. Some
Uh,
days.
tell tell me what is new with you.
Well, I've just gotten back from a quick trip to St. Louis with my daughter and husband, and then a little girls' trip to Sun Valley, and I'm heading out tomorrow to Utah to go to the BYU game, then a red eye to New York for a day, and then a red eye to London for
Of
5 days.
course. Of
So,
course you are.
yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be me if I wasn't doing something like that, right?
Yeah. Do you hate your home?
No, no, I love my home. In fact, I it's weird. So what happens is my kids just convince me to take them places. I really think that's what this London one is. My daughter's really into theater, so am
Uh-huh.
I. She's like, Mom, this certain, I don't remember the name of the girl who was in Snow White recently, but she's starring in Evita on the West End.
Yep.
And anyway, so we're going to see that. My son politically doesn't agree with her, so he's coming with us and not going to that. He's going to go see something else that night.
Mhm.
But anyway, we my oldest son hasn't done much traveling. He's never been to New York. The rest of us have been to New York. So I was like, well, we can easily just stop there on our way. And so we're doing a little, the older two kids, my husband and I, and a little trip before they go back to school in 2 weeks.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right.
It's gonna
How
be
do I
fun.
talk you into a trip?
I know, like seriously, just ask me and I'll show up. I'll go
Okay.
anywhere. I'm
Okay.
there. But I do love my home. And I did tell my husband I need to like be home a little bit more because anyway, it's hard to be gone a lot. But
Yeah. Yes. That's the thing that I find like you must not do the thing or must be able to manage it way better because I come home from vacation or just even being gone, not necessarily vacation, like I'm working somewhere else. And I
yeah.
come home and do this. I'm drowning in a pit of bad decisions. I wish I would have never gone. I'm never going to get ahead. There's a bajillion things. And then I start to resent the fact that I even went. You must deal with
Yeah.
that a lot better than I do.
I think I just compartmentalize it. I
Mhm.
just pushed it off,
Mhm.
or something. I don't know. It's like I came back from my trip on Tuesday night and then was helping to throw a shower and did all the food for it yesterday. And I'm like, I don't know how we got from point A to point B, but I did it and we're there. And somehow I made 4 loaves of sourdough bread in the midst of it because I've gotten onto that journey and
Sure.
it's definitely a wild one.
Now, is there sibling sourdough rivalry between you and Megan the Mitch? Have we had to have both sourdoughs in the same place because she got there first? So,
She did. No, she did. And I give her full credit for that. I tried a year ago and I failed, and I've
mhm,
just come back around to it. And I'm having very good luck. She's still probably much better than me because she does mix-ins like garlic and herbs and jalapenos. I'm not there yet. I'm
mhm.
still with the regular. But you know what I just did the other day that she hasn't done is I made homemade Cheez-Its with my sourdough discard. And my kids thought they were amazing. So that's great. It's,
Homemade Cheez-Its? How
yeah.
long did that take you?
Oh, honestly, it was actually super quick. So I got the discard from my old starter and it
Mhm.
was like flour and grated cheese. You do have to fresh grate the cheese and then you roll it out, put it on a pan and put it in the oven. It probably took me 10 minutes.
Okay, okay.
So,
Because anything much more than driving to the grocery store and buying a box of Cheez-Its and coming home and eating it, I just, like I'm all for making them. I think that's awesome. But some of these things that I see online where it's like, I made my own buttercream, blah,
yeah.
blah, blah. And it's like, how long does that take you? It took
Right.
me all day. I just took a leisure stroll through my fields of whatever to get that tip. I don't have time for that.
Yeah, no, I don't, and I truly don't have time for all of that. But I was like, I'm already making the sourdough. I'm here anyway. I
Sure,
might as well try this because my kids are love Cheez-Its. And my friend was like, oh, there's so much bad stuff in them. And I don't, of course there are, I'm
sure.
sure. But I was like, well, I'll make a batch. And the problem is they were eaten very quickly. That
Mhm.
that batch that I rolled out and everything made like, like a cup and a half of Cheez-Its
Sure.
and they were eaten quickly. But I'm glad they liked them. I don't know
Now,
if I'll do it.
cheese, it's not cheese nips because those are very different.
They are. Cheese
Okay.
its are
Okay.
far superior.
Okay. Okay. I mean, those are fighting words you've just shot, but
I know.
I
Come at me,
understand.
anyone.
No,
Yeah.
like, contact at theculturalhall.com. Sure, we talk about other stuff, but come at her for the cheese its.
Yes.
Here's the thing. I am the world's worst Mormon. Would you like to hear about that?
Yeah. Tell us about it.
Oh, I'm the worst.
Oh no.
I got a text message from the secretary of the Elders Quorum the other day
Yes.
who said, "Hey, the Elders Quorum president would like to visit with you." And I said, "I'm not doing this. Tell me what he wants." And then he was like, "Oh, well, I don't know that it's." And I'm like, "No, I'm not meeting on Sunday for nondescript meeting. If
Right.
he wants to tell me what we're going to talk about, I can make myself available. That particular time isn't going to work, whatever. I'm not doing the he would like to meet with you, and in 5 days' time, when your anxiety has made it so you can't sleep for the next few days, we can go ahead and you can meet. I don't understand it. I think it's a practice that we need to discard. It is from the past.
Agreed.
Elder blah blah would like to see you. About what? He would like to call you to be the ward mission leader, which is what they were wanting to talk to me about. And I said, great, now I can pray about it. And before our meeting, I can have an idea of questions I'd like to ask, whether or not I can accept it, what the things are as far as all of that goes. I'm not doing I wonder what it would be about. Is there
Yeah.
this and that and the other thing? Nope, no, 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 no. We used to do it because that's how it would be. It was hard to get to the church. It was hard to have communication or whatever the reason. It's done. I would like to talk to you and your husband about being the Stake Relief Society president. I'll see you on Sunday at 2. Great.
Give you some time. Like I think
Yes.
that's a great idea. Otherwise, you're just stuck there. You're kind of like, what do I do? What do I say?
Sure.
Expected to give an answer right then, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense when this is something that potentially could affect your life in many ways.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with
Well,
that.
yeah, and that's only the half of it, putting you on the spot in that. But the anxiety, and maybe you don't aren't riddled with this like I am, but like, what do they need to talk to me about? And my brain creates 77 different
Right.
scenarios of like maybe I said something on the show that I'm gonna get whatever. Maybe I hurt someone. Maybe I to a neighbor that this. What would you like to talk to me about? I would like to talk to you about your comment that you made in church this last Sunday. I'd love to see you on Tuesday at 2. Great, perfect, great. See you there. I'm
Now
looking
you know.
forward to it. Now I know.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
obscure, I don't know.
So did you go to the meeting and you were issued a calling or no? Like, how did that happen?
I said I would love the opportunity to be able to think about it. I asked some questions and then I just was like, here's and I would love another perspective, yours and others. Contact at theculturalhall.com. I turned it down, and I know, judge me, everyone. Go ahead. They're like, well, one of the components is that you come to what is the meeting called on Sunday?
Board council or
Yeah,
something?
ward council, right? Can't,
Yeah.
often can't.
Yeah.
And so more regularly than couldn't, right?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
so, and then they're like, and then we do the discussions and help these people on this time, at night. And I'm like,
That's your job.
I
Yeah.
guys, I mean, I understand, and I perhaps have the personality to be the ward mission leader, but what I
Sure.
don't want to do is be like, I'm the ward mission leader and I'll do all these parts, but I can't do any of this, and I'm going to delegate it to someone else who has to go do these things
Mhm.
and whatever. And so, I felt bad a
Yeah.
little bit, but on the other side of it too, like I really did like try and think about it and pray about it a little bit and be like, hey, is this the thing? And I never was like, yeah, you should do it. It was like, I don't see a path to being at all good at this. And
Yeah.
I know the Mormon thing that we do is, the Lord, qualifies who he calls and that your skills and all. And I'm just like, yes. And
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, if it's on Sunday mornings at 9 and I can't Sunday mornings at 9, what is the point of me doing this?
Right, right. No, I actually think it's really wise. I think that we have to realize that we're all in different places in our lives. We all have different types of jobs that are going to take us. And for you, your job is very much like you take it when you can get it. You don't know. It's not a 9 to 5. It's not
Right.
as easy as that. And I think that we have to look at the effect that it has on other people. Being the ward mission leader, you really want to have stability with the missionaries and with the work and whatnot.
Yeah.
And if you're passing that on to other people, it's not as great. It's not as effective. And so I think that that's wise and smart. And I think we have to be more forgiving of people who need to say no because of their schedules or because of whatever reason. Like there's
Yeah.
no reason to feel guilt for that. And I think it's very wise. And I think we have to do what works best with us and with our schedules and whatnot. And it's just different times, I think. And maybe someday, maybe in 5 years, 10 years, when
Sure.
maybe you're not as active in your job, maybe that'll be the time for you to be the war mission leader because you do have the personality for it. You would
Right.
probably be amazing at it.
Right. If I had the time to be able to do it and could do it well.
Exactly. Yep, exactly.
So what I pitched them is I said, let me be the guy who's and because I didn't want to leave them empty-handed, I said, let me be the guy whose sole responsibility is to get everyone in the Ward app directory's picture.
Yeah,
That's it.
awesome.
I'll get it. And then I
Yeah.
can call up the Ashtons and I can say, hey,
Where's your
pictures
picture?
are looking a little bit old here. None of you look like this anymore, and two of you don't even live here. You
It's
know,
actually a great idea. In fact,
you
I was
know.
just looking at my LDS directory the other day. I was like, "Oh, well, Andy and I look pretty similar, but none of
No,
my kids do. I mean,
no,
they're definitely toddlers."
no, and most of the people in my ward don't even have pictures. And I thought, okay, you want to give me like a bigger kind of a challenge? Our stake is a little bit older. I would love, love, love this because I think that this to me kind of merges two things that I think are really, really significant. I would love it if um, we have professional, air quotes, but moderately professional photographer, and we
Yeah,
say, guys, Tuesday night at the steakhouse from 5 until 9, we'll have a studio set up, and Jimmy the photographer will be there and come dressed. Here are some things to make great headshots. Wear a solid color shirt. Make sure your hair is combed and don't have the jewelry, right? Like all those kind of headshotty things.
yeah,
You
yeah.
come in, you sit down, you walk away with a great professional headshot that you can put on LinkedIn or your social media stuff or your
I
resume
love it.
or for whatever you need. And we get one for the ward and they look good, they look uniform, they have all the things, and we have even people's pictures.
It's a great idea. I
Yeah,
think it's fantastic.
yeah. And the thing is, they'll never do it.
I know it's true. Now, did they take you up on the offer to
No,
make sure
no, no. That's all right. That's fine.
they're like, no, that's a
It's
fake.
fine. I feel bad because this is a new elders quorum president, and he's like he really was letting me know that it's like, hey, I don't want you to think that it's just an open calling, and we saw that you could probably do it. Like we really feel like he doubled down on the like we really feel this as opposed to
Mhm.
just sort of choosing it, and I was like, we've never talked. You have no idea when I work. I know that you
Yeah.
feel it, and I don't want to be dismissive of feelings, and maybe I'm missing it. It could very well be missing the point, not feeling spirit out of the thing. I'm not, whatever. It can be 100% on me, but I certainly felt like I was like, I just don't know. I'm the world's worst Mormon.
No, you're not, but it's okay. But really quick, the Elders Quorum president was issuing the calling to you
Mhm.
because that's interesting. I
That's
didn't
how
know.
it's. I guess that's how it works with the ward mission leader.
Oh, okay.
He taught me about that.
So maybe that's new. My husband was ward mission leader a few years ago, and it was definitely a member of the bishopric, maybe even
Yeah,
the bishop that issued the calling. So
yeah.
anyway,
I don't know. Maybe it's a new shift, or
yeah,
maybe unrighteous dominion, and I saw through it, and I intentionally said no on the. I'm sure.
totally for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, totally, totally, totally.
Oh.
All right. Well, we've got a lot of news, so let's get to it. Let's take a break. When we come back in the second half, we will do actual articles of news. Let me take just a moment to tell you all about bestdjinutah.com. That is the website where you can learn all about me. Oh, sure, you probably feel like you know me, but you know me in the cultural hall sense. I have a DJ company now, 6 of us strong. Great event hosts, MCs, and DJs that can be able to make whatever event you have coming up absolutely spectacular, and hope you will reach out to us. Now you're thinking, well, wait a minute, Richie. I don't live in Utah. Would you travel? Absolutely, I would travel. Would they travel? Absolutely, they would travel. Whatever your event is, doesn't have to be a wedding or a community event. We can do all sorts of things. I can teach you line dancing. I can dance with you. We can do partner dancing. We can do all kinds of things, but we can't do any of it if you don't hit me up. You can go to bestdjinutah.com. You can fill out the form to get more information or get a quote, and then I will get right back to you. Find out why I'm so busy and why sometimes we don't get episodes of the Cultural Hall. It's all because of bestdjinutah.com. Here in the second half of Articles of News, we do actual articles of news. Hit it, Peter.
You can't lose articles of news.
And away we go. You're coming to Utah for opening weekend college football. Pew,
Yeah.
pew, pew. Who do they play?
Woohoo!
Who does BYU play?
Portland State,
Okay.
which theoretically it should be a blowout. I am from Portland, and
Mhm.
Portland State has never had a football team that is worth mentioning. So that's kind of interesting. And with the new quarterback, like it's who knows what's going to happen. I'm super excited. I mean, it's opening weekend. What could be more fun, right?
Yeah. New quarterback, first freshman, all the things as far as that goes. We're entering in the Bear Bachmeier
Yeah, he's
thing.
got a great name. I
Yeah.
mean, gotta be, I mean, BYU was a really good one, but this is going to be fun too.
What I can't wait for and or hope, and I need your report back, so please remember,
Okay.
when you go to BYU football games and it's the wow, wow, wow,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I feel like they've got to have something for a bear going out when
Right.
the offense takes it,
Yeah.
whatever, right? A bear growl.
Yeah. I'm gonna look out for that. We'll
Okay.
see.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also let me know if during the opening prayer before the football game, everyone asks that we'll return home in safety. I need to know that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. So that's this opening weekend.
Yeah.
Where you tell me where you want to go story wise. I know one kind of crosses over with your day job. I wanted to be sensitive to that,
Yeah.
so I'll let you kind of guide through that.
Well, let's go ahead and start with that one. I
Okay.
think it probably makes sense. So, on late Monday night, Sawyer Hemsley, one of the founders of Crumble, came out publicly on social media as being homosexual, as being gay, obviously. So, this was interesting because Sawyer, he has a big social media presence. He, for all sense of the words, you would say he's a metrosexual. He takes very good care of himself.
Mhm.
So for years, people have wondered, is he gay, whatever.
Sure.
He's never publicly come out. I don't know when he realized he was or when he came to grips with that. But, we all wonder, and
Sure.
I'm super proud of him. I love that, like, I love him. He's obviously done so much for me and for my family, and I have a relationship with him, a friendship, and I think this was really brave. And unfortunately, the way it came about was really kind of heartbreaking. He was
Oh no.
being called out on TikTok and on social media as like people being pretty awful, like within the gay community, which I think is interesting. There were some DMs that were shared, some things that were personal and private to him that were shared that all just kind of came to a head. And what I found really interesting is the people that were kind of forcing him to come out was people within the gay community who were saying, you're Republican, you're Mormon, you claim this and that, and yet we know you're really gay, you need to come out, et cetera, et cetera. And I just think, um, of all communities of people that should be the most accepting and sensitive to that, it just felt strange that that was kind of what forced him to come out. And a few people have retracted and come back and said they apologize for doing that and kind of forcing his hand. I do hope that it helps him live a more authentic life. I mean, no one should be living a secret life and living
No.
in the closet. And I think, I'm sure, growing up in a tight-knit LDS family and having this large business and this name, it's probably made it harder and more nervous for him to come out. But I've only seen mostly really a lot of acceptance. I actually saw one comment on his post that said, wow, I had boycotted Crumble several years ago because I thought you were all just hateful Mormons. But I'm coming back now, which I just find like, why can't we all just love each other and get along and whatnot? And
You
so
want a list of reasons why we can't do that?
I know I don't really need a list. I
Yeah.
can make my own, but you know what I'm saying. And so honestly, just good for him. I'm proud of him. I feel badly for how it all came about, but I hope that he finds joy and peace in this new step in his life.
Now, he's a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Is he
Yep.
married?
He is not. Nope. He grew up in Preston, Idaho. He went to Utah State. He served a mission in Mexico and has never been married. So,
Okay. So if there's some part of it, at least he hasn't been living a life where it's like, this is my wife who I love so much and my kids, and now it's like, ooh.
totally. Yeah. Nope. He is not. He's never been married, never, as far as I know, been close to that. So I think he's probably known for a while and he's just been trying to sort through his feelings on that. And I have to say, I was very impressed with his social media post. He was just said some really good things and just, I don't know, it gave me a smile. I'm like, good for you. Time to live authentically.
To the point that you started to address in kind of an aside, and feel free to not comment on this at all if you would like. I would imagine because Crumble started in Utah and a lot of the first folks that kind of took on franchises are members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Has there been, do you know of anyone that's like, oh, hey, wait a minute, this isn't what I signed up for. We're not doing this, or here we're getting in this and this organization. I'm not sure that I want to be a part of it.
No, I have not heard anything like that at all.
Good.
And like, honestly, I don't know if he's going to listen to this. For a long time, we've all kind of thought maybe he was gay, just because based on his looks and his, he's very artistic and I don't know, a lot of
Stereotypes and generalizations towards, yeah.
And so that has never been anything that has bothered or stopped any of us from wanting to be a part of Crumble. I just think it's important to separate, personal life from business and that sort of thing. And I truly have not heard, the most I've heard this week from other franchise partners, owners, is that they're like, okay, yay, he's finally out. You know what I mean? Like, good for him, and time to keep making great cookies, keep developing cookies. Let's move on.
Yeah. I always wonder, it shouldn't, just so everyone is clear, it shouldn't impact, I don't think, anyone as far as that goes. But, there's always those people that can't separate themselves from this person, and this is the company, and now I'm not sure I want to do it. And what are they going to do? Are we making gay cookies now? We're going to make, it's like, there's no such thing.
Right. And there have been some comments. I will say, actually, one person was like, are we going to do a whole like gay pride thing now? And Crumble, actually, I think in any business, you have to kind of like balance between like being authentic and being just as a whole. It's important that they look at opportunities and look at the wide ranging effects of those. And so I don't anticipate this will change anything within our business at all. So.
Nice. All right, let's move to another story. I'll pick this one. I thought this was interesting. Do you remember that depends on what your definition of is on what your right? Bill Clinton and the separation of like what the definition of the word is. So the church, that is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, recently spent almost $500 million on buying farmland in Australia. people in Australia are like, whoa, hang on, wait a second. What's going on? Are they, the LDS Church is buying farmland here. Why are they buying so much? The number certainly staggering to a lot of people. And they may be changing some laws down there so that things like that can't occur in the future. So the church, that is the church newsroom, put out an article the other day that I just thought was hilarious because it so here's the headline. Let me just go there. The
Okay.
headline says, "Does the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints own farms in Australia?" Goes on. Recent reports published in the Australian media have highlighted agricultural purchases linked to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Unfortunately, some of these misinterpret and misrepresent essential facts and details related to these transactions. So this is where I love the definition of is. First, it is not correct to say that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is buying farms in Australia. So you go, wait, what? Huh? Farmland Reserve, which is the subsidiary of the church, has invested in agricultural properties in Australia. So it's like, guys, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints hasn't bought farmland in Australia, but the corporation of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has bought, So goes on to say, well, Farmland Reserve is an affiliate of the church. It is a separate entity. As the website explains, Farmland Reserves invests and operates agricultural assets that generate long-term. The church has an ecclesiastical entity. It's focused solely on its Christian mission. So that's the first one. Second, it's also incorrect that the agricultural properties benefit from voluntary labor because it says all the people that work there are paid. Guaranteed there are people serving missions and overseeing these things. Okay, that we are splitting hairs again. Finally, properties purchased and owned by Alkira Farms operate on a for-profit basis and are subject to all taxes and levies required under the law. They do not receive tax-free exemptions because they are charitable or religious organizations. So I just thought that was like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
It's fine. We can invest our money however we want, but it's a little gaslighty to be like, no, we didn't.
Right.
More accurately, the corporation of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Okay. So no, yes, no, yes, no. Where did you want to go news story wise next?
Well, let's talk about the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
We got a date. We got a date.
We do. And it's much later than I thought. It's November, right?
Yeah, November 13th.
Yeah, which I'm like so annoyed because last we knew it was all filmed already, right? Like we thought anyway. And so is it all going to be really old news by the time it actually comes out in November, or are they refilming, doing new? I don't know, because we also have Jen Affleck and Whitney who are entering the Dancing with the Stars soon. So like if it's already been filmed, is Dancing with the Stars going to be happening? Then we'll see the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and it's not including any of that. I don't know. I'm curious. Of course, I'm going to watch it the second it's released, but there has been some steamy details in the behind the scenes glimpses. They have a photo shoot or something where Demi and Whitney are kissing each other.
Yeah.
Sitting on the hood of a car or something. And so who knows? Like I'm sure it's just like oh, we're gonna put this out there and people are gonna be so curious and excited and now they're lesbians and whatever. It's just clickbaity, you know what I mean? So
sure.
I'm sure that's not actually real. I'm sure it was just some kind of
You don't know. They could be. I mean, she was in a
true.
lavender marriage already. And who do we hate the most? The people that we love the most. We're trying to have all those emotions. We have to put them somewhere.
Yep. You're right. So who knows? I mean, I guess it's getting us, we're going to be really excited to watch that in 2.5 months to find out the truth of it all. I'm not a big Dancing with the Stars watcher. I haven't watched it in years, but I probably will now to see how they do. I'm so curious about that. But anyway, but then there was also some controversy recently with Michaela, who just had a newborn baby in July. And do you know that was a Nicki Minaj challenge where people had to like they would stand on their stiletto with one foot, balancing or whatever. Anyway, she did that challenge holding her brand new baby Lottie, and she ended up losing her balance. The baby was fine, but people have really been up in arms about like how irresponsible that was, which it was irresponsible. I've
Yes.
heard of someone who broke their back doing that challenge, so kind of weird. Like, come on, ladies, let's be normal for a second.
I hate TikTok challenges, all of them.
Yeah,
Almost all of them. I just go, what this I and that's how I know I'm old, because I go, why are we doing this?
I know.
You don't jump out of a moving car. That is I know that you want the video and the clicks. You will end up not having a leg. What if
Right.
she would have dropped her baby and, had some sort of like permanent damage to that?
Totally.
Ugh.
Totally. I know. It's pretty bad. But
Uh,
anyway, but we're excited. Let's get ready. Season 3 is on its way. And we don't really know if Jen Affleck, she stepped away in episode 5 or 6 of season 2, so we'll see if she comes back. I don't know.
Of course she does.
I
Of
know.
course she does. In a way that we could never imagine, right? Whitney with the red hair. I like that. That's
Yeah.
been kind of a fun change. She's talked a lot about that. Can I
Yeah.
ask you something? I see this in a couple of the shots that I see. How come women don't have belly buttons? And by that I mean, like, all of the things that these women are wearing, it's we it I don't know. Weird maybe is too strong. It's odd.
Yeah.
The fashion is I don't have a belly button. Is that because we don't like belly buttons are out, or we just like that's how clothes are made right now? Because all of those black things, and they have different kinds of black things.
Yeah.
No belly buttons. We don't share belly buttons.
So are we thinking, I don't know, honestly, and I've never really noticed. But is it sometimes they're high-waisted covering the belly button or something, like we're seeing midriff but no belly button? Is that kind of what you're saying?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So I wonder if is it an attraction type of thing? Do we think the belly button is ugly in general, so we want to cover it up, but we'll show the rest? I actually don't have any idea because I don't show any of that in
Mhm.
my life. No one wants to see that, but I don't know, honestly. I think maybe it is just that the belly button is not attractive.
Well, or like, are we in a phase now where the belly button, because the belly button, if you're going to be a little bit overweight, right,
Yes.
the belly button is sort of the defining factor of being any sort of, or even if it's just loose skin, or even if it's any of that kind of stuff, right? The
Yeah.
belly button is like, look no further than this point,
Right.
this eye magnet right here.
Yeah.
Hold on, I got to remember that. The belly button is your eye magnet. That's
Eye
the name of
magnet.
this.
Yes. It's a good
The
one.
name of this belly button is your eye magnet. That's the name of this episode. Your
I love
eye
it.
magnet. Yeah, odd.
It's true.
That's what I thought.
It is an eye magnet. If you don't have kind of like a perfect body, like the belly button will give that away for sure. Yeah. I
Okay.
also wonder, I noticed that people that get tummy tucks and whatnot, the belly button, you can kind of pick and choose what you do with it, where you put it. I don't know. Maybe
You get to pick where you put your belly button?
that's what I heard from someone. I have never had any plastic surgery like that, but they're like, yeah, my doctor was asking me where I wanted it. I don't know how any of that works, but they were redoing it all.
Above my clavicle. Can we put it up there?
Let's put it up here on my shoulder.
Put my eye magnet right up here. Where would you like it? Can you put it on the backside?
I don't think so.
Twist it around the back? I had a friend, I can't remember the surgery she had. They were like, hey, do you want a belly button or not? Because
Well,
and then she
yeah.
just was like, nope. And so they just, no belly button.
So that's what I was about to say. Like, what's the point of the belly button? There's no
Well, once
point.
you're born, nothing.
Nothing. So
Nothing.
I guess if you can do away with it, but I can't imagine not having a belly button.
Yeah, I mean, where else do you put your finger when you're bored, or like when you're laying in the bathtub and you just want to splash water a little bit?
Seriously. Yeah, that's hilarious. Oh, man.
Now I want to have my belly button removed. Okay, let's go. Let me think here. Where do we want to go? Oh, this was just tragic and terrible.
Oh, yes.
The missionary serving in Missouri, Adamam Diamond,
Yeah.
as I understand it,
Yep.
senior missionary. They're called out there, and he died while mowing the lawn of a historic Mormon site. Elder Brent Blackburn, age 68,
Yeah.
was sitting on a lawnmower and operating it, obviously. As the elder maneuvered the lawnmower along a side of a hill, the machine overturned, according to the church. Blackburn died from injuries sustained in the lawnmower crash. Quote, our condolences and prayers are with Sister Blackburn and their family at this difficult time, the church's statement read. Clay Schaefer, a friend of Blackburn, described him as a good man and someone to look up to. Quote, I had the privilege of getting to know him. He played a big part in helping the village of Jameson, Missouri, with building their new cook shack. His amazing wife donated some beautiful paintings to the Jameson picnic to help raise money at the village. Elder Blackburn and Sister Blackburn are true disciples of Jesus Christ. Just a freak accident, so sad.
Really sad.
The funeral services for Elder Blackburn will be on September 6th up in Davis County, Utah. And you can imagine that there will be a lot of people. I would imagine there will be someone from the Quorum of the 12 there presiding. As part of that, typically when a missionary passes, that's what happens. But just, I can't imagine like, hey, you go to a different country and maybe you're in the wrong place. Maybe that's a little more common, but to just be out mowing the lawn and your great calling that you picked and said, oh, and then, doesn't come back.
Yeah, when I first saw this a few days ago when it happened, I was reading it to Andy, and it sounds like he was like on a hill and the riding lawnmower rolled maybe on top of him. I was talking to my sister about it, my older sister, and I'm like, I don't really want to think about what happened. I'm hoping just the weight of it on him that it just did something anyway.
Yeah, I know what you're alluding to is what I immediately went to in my brain. I imagine it was just the machine itself, not that he was like rolled under or anything like that.
Exactly. Anyway, super sad, super sad. But yeah, I mean, those freak accidents happen whether you're on a mission or not. And it's just really hard, really sad.
The mission presidents down in Mexico City, I think the Mexico City West Mission, have said, we're feeling better and we're not letting this keep us down. We are back in. We are all in, baby. They have said we are going for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. I mean, such faith, such the fact that they had only been there for less than 2 months, a month and a half, and the intruder came in, and the fact that the president was shot in the upper abdomen and the bullet escaped through his hip and hit no organs. I mean, it is a miracle, really, that he came out of that. And I don't know though. Like, I think about myself, would I be ready to like jump back into the wagon of serving? And like, I might be a little bit. I don't know. I don't have that mantle on me. So I would like to think I would be as have the faith that they have, but they're like, we're going to keep serving. And they also said, we're sensitive that not every situation has the same outcome as ours. And we mourn with those who have been tragically separated from loved ones. So to have these two things happen with the lawnmower, where obviously that outcome is very different, and for them to have this, but they said, we're here to serve, and we're here to serve our Heavenly Father in Jesus Christ, and we have been spared for a reason. And I love that. I love that attitude. I love that example. And I wish them the very, very best.
Is there a part of you when you would think about something like that, you're like, well, it can't get worse? Like maybe that's the way you would continue to do it. It's like, I mean, I feel like we're not going to get broken into again or shot again, or like,
right.
We got some disobedient missionaries, but it can't get worse than this.
Yeah. I mean, it's true, actually. You're like, well, I guess if that happened, like we can kind of face any challenge at this point. So yeah, good for them.
Let's see. This I thought was kind of interesting. This is up in Yakima. Yakima police have arrested a man on a hate crime charge after they say he threatened two members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. According to a court affidavit from Yakima County Prosecutor's Office, the two church members were walking in the area, and a man driving a red Mustang started to follow them around and started threatening the two men. The man then left the area but returned a short time later. He drove up and started yelling and telling the two men that they were worse than Jews and that they should be put to death. Police say the man threw rocks, telling the two men to leave the neighborhood. They told the police the man even tried to get his dog to attack the men, but that didn't happen. Police responded and tried to find the suspect in the neighborhood, but he fled before police arrived. However, police were able to identify the suspect and the suspect vehicle. They contacted the 33-year-old man who admitted to threatening the two men. The man turned himself into police and told them he regretted his actions and that he had been drinking before the incident. He then wrote an apology letter to the two victims who were not injured. incorrectly say the man was targeting the two based on their religion. It does not say this in this article. I think it's two missionaries.
So yeah, I couldn't tell if it kind of made sense that it would be two missionaries because otherwise how would you know unless they had, I guess, just walked out of the church?
Right.
Does seem like it would be two missionaries and yeah, unfortunately. But the man is, going to be charged with hate crimes and that's unfortunate. But I appreciate that he realizes what he did was wrong and he shouldn't have done it. And obviously when you get caught, you really realize you shouldn't have done something. But
Right. Well,
yeah,
and the fact that it's a hate crime, like intensifies the charges of
right,
it as opposed to
right,
just being like, you are terrible. No, you're terrible because you're
right,
Mormon.
right.
So
Yep.
fun. Serve a mission. That's what we say. Listen to these ringing endorsements for serving.
I know. Three stories in a row for serving a mission, for sure.
I'll tell you what though, jokes aside on that, I still think about some of the experiences that I had serving my mission. And I have this cool experience coming up in January where so in one of the areas that I served in, there was a guy, a young kid that I taught. He ended up serving a mission. He ended up getting sealed to another girl in the ward. Their family has been raised in the church. They've raised their family, so they've stayed members. And
Yeah.
now their oldest daughter is getting sealed in the temple. And so I'm going to go
Oh,
to the temple sealing
that's
coming up in January. It's super
that's
cool.
really cool. I
Yeah.
love it so much. Where is she getting sealed?
In the Indianapolis temple. So I will fly
Cool.
in the night before, do the thing, and then fly out. They wanted me to DJ their wedding. I was already booked and I couldn't get out of it, which is unfortunate when you sign contracts with people. But
Yeah,
I am going to go to the temple ceiling and be able to
that's
see
cool.
and do that. And it's it was life changing, not only for him to be able to do that, but for me to be able to see the gospel work through people's lives.
Yeah.
Worth the risk. The risk sucks sometimes, as those missionaries point out. It's not always the result that you want it to be, but I think that it can be pretty tremendous experience
Yeah,
to be.
that's incredible. Now, was the girl alive when you were teaching? Oh no, he wasn't. The child
No,
was.
no, no. He was like
Oh,
a
he
high
was
school
young.
kid.
He was.
Yeah, it was a high school
Oh,
kid.
very cool.
Yeah,
That
and
is.
his girlfriend, who now is his wife, was the one who introduced him to the church, and he's like, "Yeah, let's do it." And then he went and served a mission, and then they got married,
Oh, I love it.
kids, and then
So cool.
they've kept their family in it. So it's pretty
That's
cool.
awesome. I
Yeah.
love that.
And there have been plenty of people that like you baptize and then they're like, I'm not doing this anymore. I can think of a
Yeah,
couple of those people that I taught as
for sure.
well. But
Yeah,
it's cool to kind of see this going now a second generation
that is awesome.
and the
That's cool.
impact that it's had. So
Yeah, I love it.
we maybe should have mentioned this earlier as we were talking about the other stuff. But the church buys a rental complex in Florida because we like to buy Florida.
Mhm.
Largest single landowner in the state of Florida. That is
Mhm.
I was about to say that's the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, but I should technically say it's the corporation of the Church of Jesus
Right,
Christ of Latter-day Saints because of what your definition of owns is.
right.
They bought a $152.5 million multifamily community in Boca Raton, Florida. It's a 17-acre property, has 384 apartments, a garden-style complex, 19 three-story buildings, and the churches said, yoink, we'll go ahead and buy that and make some money off of that.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. It's interesting as an adult now who invest money and those sorts of things. Like you have to do that in order to grow your wealth and to, survive. But sometimes there's this part of me, the young Molly, who is like, wow, that's a lot of money that could maybe pay for a lot of missionaries to serve their missions so they don't
Mhm.
have to pay for it themselves. Anyway, it's silly and it's dumb because I know the reality is investing money and growing it is the smart thing to do, but I don't know. It's just interesting.
Yeah, I think so I know enough to know because people have pushed back when I have been insistent on it. They're like, well, how much should they spend? What's
Yeah,
the percent they should do? And I go, I don't know, but can
yeah,
we agree that maybe a little bit more than what they're doing?
yeah.
And then the other side of it is like, how much is enough and all those things. Those are questions I don't know the answer to.
Right.
I just find it fascinating that those are the kind of things that we do. And so much in Florida. We buy so
So
much in
much.
Florida.
And I wonder, what is it just inexpensive? Is there just like is something going to happen in Florida? Are we going to take over the entire state?
Yes,
So
we're gonna build in celebration right by Disney World. We're gonna build Mormon World.
Mormon world,
I
Mormon
don't,
world. Yeah,
yeah,
makes sense.
I don't know where to go with that. It was a fun idea while it lasted.
It was a quick one, but it was fun.
Uh, you might call this is a terrible segue. Upstate New York, that could be Mormon World. Elder
Yeah,
Bednar headed, no, terrible.
was
Uh,
it?
to the Hill Cumorah to rededicate. You remember a couple of years ago they said, guys, we're not going to do the pageant anymore. All of the places that we have, chopped trees down, all these things to do the pageant and other things. They've said, you know what, we're going to restore this back to how it was in the time of Joseph Smith, or what we think it was in the time of Joseph Smith. And so now Visitor Center, the Hill, all of those things being restored.
Yeah. I did you ever go to the Hill Cumorah pageant?
I did not, and I've actually never even been to Hill Cumorah.
Me either. Me either. That's on my list for next year. I'm gonna go do it all. But I was amazed. It said they got rid of 23 buildings used to support the pageant, including restrooms, costume shop, cast changing rooms, storage sheds, an RV park, an industrial kitchen facility, approximately 400,000 square feet or 9 acres of asphalt, gravel roads, parking areas, and paths were all removed so that the area could be reforested with thousands of native tree seeds, which will one day be a mature forest that more closely resembles the time of Joseph Smith. And I'm just, I now I really want to go. Like now
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I really want to go see it. And they said they have a visitor center, they've renovated it, but they really want it to be a place for visitors to go and to be able to enjoy it at their own pace and kind of just feel like they're back in that time in the native with the native plants and trees and whatnot. Anyway, so really interesting that they would go to that many lengths, I guess, and the cost to remove all of that. I just had no idea the structures that were even there to begin with.
Elder Bednar will be the one that will offer the dedicatory prayer. That's going to be coming up on the 21st of September. As in, do you remember the 21st night of September? If that doesn't play,
Why?
yeah, 100%. Elder Bednar, huge Earth, Wind, and Fire fan, and said,
Totally.
got to do this then.
Yeah.
It's on the list of places I've got to go. I think that you can, you can. You can view the rededication anywhere. You just have to do it online, and then you'll be able to watch it for 2 weeks after. It's broadcastschurchofjesuschrist.org. You can watch it live, or you can watch it anytime 2 weeks after. So be sure you check that out. Put that on the calendar. That would be cool to do, to see.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
So
Very
much taken out as far as that goes.
Yeah.
We've still got some time. We're getting through all types of news. Where did you want to go next?
Let's talk about the Latter-day Saint pitcher, Vern Law, who was inducted into the Pittsburgh Pirates Hall of Fame. He
Okay.
was the first Pirate pitcher to win a Cy Young Award and help the team upset the New York Yankees in the 1960 World Series. He was just inducted into the Hall of Fame on August 21st. It said he was joined by family members last week, or to go to the ceremony. He said he's 95 years old right now. He received a gold jacket and threw a ceremonial first pitch before the game. He said, "It's the capstone of my career. It is absolutely wonderful. I thought when I turned 95, all the excitement in my life was over, but no, this has brought a lot of memories." So anyway, just cute and fun. And to hear he was the first Cy Young Award winner, I don't know, just fun. And what a cool thing for them to do for him before he passes on and to recognize that he was a big part of that team.
Yeah, why did it take so long? That was the thing. He's 95 years. I mean, it's great. And I'm
Yeah.
sure he would never say something like that, but come on, 95 years old, and now they finally got him in. He
Yeah.
attributes his athletic success to how he lived his faith and clean lifestyle. So you want to live for a long time? You want to make it into the Baseball Hall of Fame? Word of wisdom.
Wisdom.
That's what I've learned. That's what I've learned. Also have to probably have baseball skills.
Probably, maybe. Good
The
idea.
the revised edition of the Illustrated Doctrine and Covenants stories is now available. This after 40 years, that was when the original edition came out. We would often do it, depending on who we would be teaching on my mission, sometimes do the like Book of Mormon Illustrated or Doctrine and Covenants Illustrated. Not to be insulting by any means, but it was, here are the stories. Here is a way that you can kind of understand without the thee, though, thines, and it came to passes, that kind of stuff. And so now revamped, 40 years later, it is available in a bunch of different languages. You can get it in the app as well. Elder Renlund said that he's excited because it includes some less familiar stories from church history. It incorporates some of the things that we've learned from the 4 volumes of saints. So you get to know people like Mary Rollins, Elijah Abel, Jane Manning, Sousa Gates, among others. It's now available in 68 languages. The videos are in 26 languages. And now the reason why this is a story, because it's been available electronically up until now, but just the other day, it is now available in print version. So if you were one that likes the print version of things, you can get it.
Yeah, I kind of love these. When I was buying the Book of Mormon ones, and I think New Testament. Anyway, I have 2. There were 2 new ones that came out in the last year or 2. My husband's like, "That's so weird. Our kids are too old for this." I'm like, I think they're beautiful. I think they've done a beautiful job. I think the illustrations are fantastic. And I actually teach primary, and I love anything I can have physical is so much better than having it on a computer or whatever. So I will be grabbing that as soon as I can, just because we're teaching the Doctrine and Covenants right now. So this will be a great help for those of us that like to have the physical copies of those things. So I'm excited for it. I think it's great.
Good, good.
Yeah.
I want to talk about this. Have you ever used AI to write your church talk?
Should I admit to it? Okay,
Yes.
so one time I did for a little bit of help, and I took a little bit from it. But really quick, can I say someone in our ward recently used AI to write their closing prayer for sacrament meeting, and like she took her phone up. No one will listen to this from my ward. I don't know. She won't for sure. She took her phone up and read it over the pulpit, the prayer.
Okay.
It was like, she's like my age. It's not like she's like an old person that like was like, I'm not gonna be able to think of what to say, but it was so awkward because
Was she nervous? What was the deal?
I don't know, because I didn't ask her, but probably, and honestly, she's probably one that struggles with public speaking and getting
Sure.
up, and I understand some people struggle with saying prayers in front of people. And so I just think maybe what would have been a better approach is to have AI write it and then to kind of adjust it to be a little more sounding like it was your words, because
Sure.
it was definitely not even Mormon speak. Like some of the phrasing, I was like, wait, that's not exactly what was saying.
Sounds
Anyway,
awfully evangelical, AI.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Andy and I turned to each other and we're like, did she have ChatGPT write that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so sorry, go on. But yes, I did use it once to help with a talk, and it was actually great. I felt like it gave me some really great little points to then be able to jump off of. So,
Well, Elder Gong says, quote, as a creation of God, man can create AI, but AI cannot create God. Artificial intelligence is not God and cannot be God, Gong goes on to say. For example, AI-related technologies can facilitate church language translation, production, and publication. But AI, the faith's first and only Asian American apostle, said, cannot serve as a substitute for divine inspiration. As church members, we will not grow spiritually if we let artificial intelligence write our sacrament meeting talks or do our seminary homework. AI cannot replace our individual effort and spiritual preparation as we prepare lessons, prayers, or blessings. Gong, reiterating his comments from a recent international religious conference in Istanbul, reminded the audience that AI is human-made and could never replicate true morality. So here's what I think about this. So oftentimes when I will teach Elders Quorum, I will, because it's always teach Sister Ashton's fall general conference talk, right? I will copy and paste that into, I use Gemini, and I'll say, prepare a lesson plan from this talk.
yeah.
And then it'll line it out. And then I go, oh, okay, that's an interesting point. Or like, I'll use that as the framework of things.
Yeah.
But giving that I give it the source,
Yep.
it keeps me more on topic than if I was like, Sister Ashton's talk was about choices. And then I'm talking about where I was going to go on vacation, and the lesson like quickly becomes, this thing far askew.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that there are ways that we can do it, especially last minute. Certainly better to have an AI prepared lesson than not a prepared lesson at all.
For sure.
Allowing the spirit to be able to speak into it, because again, it can't, it can't be the spirit as far as all that goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would be hesitant to not ever use it. But yeah, don't have it right where it's like
Yeah. Well,
it's so very obviously not.
we we were in at our vacation home in Oregon, and we love attending church there, and it's a very small ward. And recently a gentleman spoke, and he was a fairly new member. I think he'd only been baptized maybe 9 months, and it was definitely written by AI. But it was like really heartwarming a little, you know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
like we could all tell, but like how many times in his life has this man had to speak in front of 200 people about a
Sure.
religion, and he's just barely joined? And so I think there is a place for it, and if it can help you get up and get over a fear of speaking. But I do think I love your idea of like taking it as jumping place, where you can use some of the points and you can utilize some of it, but then putting it into your own words and doing your own research is obviously the way to go. So I wouldn't steer clear of it completely for sure, but I think not reading exactly what you generate from AI is going to be your best option.
You know what I also love when we have discussions in like Sunday school and stuff like that. I love Googling and finding out how other Christian denominations
Oh,
explain the different principles, and I
yeah.
will share that. And I know everyone in my ward hates that. I will go,
Oh,
well, Baptists will say, and people go, are we in a Baptist church? Who
right,
asked? Who
right.
asked Baptists? And I think it's interesting because some people learn the same way as everyone else, and some people not the same way. So I like
For sure.
a different perspective, but it's always so funny. And, evangelicals, and you can hear the eye roll
Yeah.
of the people in my
Like,
ward, where it's like,
here we
guys,
go again.
yeah. Otherwise, it's the same thing that we've talked about 100 times with
Right.
the 7 people that are participating, and that the 20 people in the back row who aren't even listening, and you wonder, why is it you are here? Do you just feel bad if you're not here? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Stir up.
love it. I'm going to do that too. I'm going
You
to
should try it.
the religions. Yeah. Next time
Yeah.
I'm in Gospel Mountain or something.
Be ready for the backlash.
Okay, I will.
Let's see. Is there anything else that you wanted to make sure that we hit in this? We don't have a
Not
ton of
really. I
books
thought
here.
the article about the hymns was pretty interesting, and as they're adding new hymns to the hymnal, and just the permissions they have to get, and if a hymn was written before 19 something, I lost the article.
1930.
30. Yep.
Yep.
And they don't need permission, and they were talking specifically about "Do As I'm Doing" from the children's primary songbook, and they're like, yeah, we don't know who wrote it, so it's kind of an issue when there's anonymous, because they can't pinpoint when it was written and if they have permission. And anyway, it was actually just kind of interesting that there is a huge process that goes into adding these hymns into the hymn book, and that some just can't be if they don't have permission to put them in. So
Yeah, so were they nodding, "Hey, we're not gonna have 'Do As I'm Doing' in the new
I,
hymnal"? Is that what that was?
well, okay, so what I don't know is "Do As I'm Doing" in the hymnal?
No, no, it's not in
No.
the hymnal now, but it might be in the children's hymn book.
Yeah.
That I don't know. But it's funny to me because I saw this article circulated, and people are like, a whole different aspect of how hymns get picked and to be able to. And I'm like, guys, of course. Of course, we have to have permission
Yeah.
to use these. You know that the people like Janice Cap Perry and some of these other like our age people, when
Yeah.
they submitted their hymn to be in the hymnal, you
Yeah.
can guarantee that they said, "And I give all rights and properties to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, or the Corporation of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints," whichever one we're going to qualify this as, so that we can make sure that they have permission, because they will not step anywhere near we are using a thing that we don't know if we have the right to use it, because then they printed books that can't be done because they have to pay the person for it.
Yep. Yep, exactly. So yes, of course, it totally makes sense that they have to have their permission. They did say that they received over 17,000 submissions for new hymn book, for the new hymn book, and creators, when they submitted the necessary rights, as that process unfolds to have their songs be used. But the other interesting thing is it said in some countries, there's like a 70-year period of when you can have the rights. In another, it might be a 120-year period. So with the hymn book being worldwide, they just have to be really careful. And I just thought it was an interesting perspective of how that process is going.
Just seems like a huge legal thing. And
Yeah.
we're like, just pick songs that we like and let's go. Nope.
Yeah.
It is 100% so much more than just that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I think it's also interesting to note, well, oh man, these are the ones that made it through. These are clear. These are ones we have permission or that we're able to, have all that.
Yep,
All
exactly.
right. Shall we be done? I think we should be done.
Let's do it.
be
We
done.
got through a lot. It was a
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah, we did. We hope that this episode has nourished and strengthened your body.
And if you weren't well enough to listen this week, you'll be well enough next week.
And that when the time comes, you'll be able to travel home in safety. In the meantime, go Tar Heels. Chris at Alpine Lakes Travel, Debbie Wanless, Chocolate Cake Bites Podcast, and the Tiger with a U will be saving a seat for you
On the back row
of the Cultural Hall.
Save me a seat, it's sure to be neat.